What's up, YouTube? It's Scott here from GearRules.com, and today we're going to be checking out the Warrior Mini 2 flashlight by Olight. This is the second generation of the Warrior Mini, and I'll tell you, it is action-packed to the brim with top-of-the-line specs, including up to 1,750 lumens in its brightest setting. Today we're going to be diving into all the specs that this flashlight has and what you're going to get for your money. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of the flashlight, in my opinion. I want to thank Olight for actually sending me this product before it even came out onto the market to give me some time to play around with it, actually go camping with it and test that out. And so I appreciate them for doing that. Now I can tell you guys all about it. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, please like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, you can follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we go. The Olight Warrior Mini 2. And first thing we're going to do here is tell you guys kind of what you're getting with the box when you make the purchase. You get a 5-year warranty on the item. And the box, as most Olight products have, the description as to what you're getting, as well as some of the specs that you might be interested in. And I'll be sure to be leaving a link down below on where you can actually buy this product on the Olight website. There are several different colorways that you can purchase. And like I said, this light just came out, so this is my initial thoughts here. First thing you're going to notice when you're opening it up is you should be pulling out the tab that separates the battery from the flashlight. And they recommend actually charging the flashlight fully before you even use it, like a lot of electronic items. So you're obviously going to get the flashlight here, which is neatly life-size with the picture on the box. And then on the back of the packaging here, you're going to get your rubber lanyard / wrist wrap, which is really made out of a quality material and feels really smooth, as well as your carabiner made by Olight, which is in the shape of a circle. And then you have your typical user manual, as what comes with pretty much all electronic items. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the user manual and the packaging here so we can deep dive and talk about the lanyard, the special Olight carabiner. And I forgot to mention that it does come with this magnetic charging cable and is integrated in the back of the packaging like the rest of the stuff. But I set that aside earlier to show you guys how the charger works. So that is my bad, and we're going to be talking about each one of these things right now. So the first thing I want to talk about is this cool little Olight carabiner. It looks like just a ring, but it actually is a carabiner. And you can stick that, for if you want to be nice and simple, you can just stick that right on the little ring, keychain ring, and you can attach this pretty much to anything, which makes it super nice and convenient. And next is the wrist wrap or lanyard. It is made of this nice rubbery material, and it would be really perfect if you're using this for like walking your dog or just want to have it at the ready, and it's super easy to attach. I use that same little ring and just insert it here, and it's nice and strong, and it has this little bezel that will tighten around your wrist, so that way you don't lose control of your flashlight and you always have it on you. And honestly, it feels really good on your wrist with that nice silicone rubber type feel. And of course, if you want to be extra fancy, you can use the carabiner on top of the wrist mount. If you always use the wrist mount and just want to snap this onto a bag or something, then you have that option as well. So for the purpose of the rest of the video, we're going to take off the lanyard to make things easy to maneuver. And we're going to talk about this magnetic charger. And if you have any other Olight products, then you're pretty familiar with this magnetic charger. There's an LED indication on the charger, and the magnet's pretty strong, which makes charging it pretty easy, and there's not going to be any loose connections. Now, the LED charger has a red indicator and a green indicator to indicate if it's fully charged or not, which is super convenient. One complaint I do have is the LED charger is not super bright, so if it's in a high light setting, it might be hard to tell if it's fully charged or not. So that's one thing to point out. Now, the magnet on the end has some other uses that I like to point out. I like to put my flashlight on top of my toolbox, and it keeps it nice and sturdy and upright, and I can even lift my top lid a little bit, and if I push into it, it won't fall over right away. Although it is not strong enough to hold on the side, which is a bit of a disappointment, but it's not really the intention of the magnetized end of this flashlight. So now that we've talked about all the accessories that come with the flashlight, let's go ahead and start talking about some of the finer details and technical specs of the Warrior Mini 2. So the first thing I want to point out is the size. It fits in the palm of your hand, which is super nice, and makes it great for tactical purposes as well as just general everyday purposes. It also comes with this bi-directional clip on it, which gives you a lot of optionality for when you're using it. You can set it up in certain situations. Like one example is you can put it on your baseball cap and make a makeshift headlamp if you're working in the dark and don't have a headlamp set up. Really, this bi-directional clip gives you a lot of different options for how you want to carry it or place it when you're using it. So what's not to like about it? So that double-sided clip and this little ring are removable from the flashlight, but they are really hard to remove and to put back on because the fitting is so tight and secure, which is a nice optionality if you want that optionality. So the flashlight is IPX8 waterproof. I'll be sure to leave a link down below as to what that means, but basically it can handle a lot of water and still be usable. On top of that, it is 1.5 meter impact resistant, so if you drop it out of your pocket or while you're working with it, it's not going to be a problem. So these type of qualities make it a very durable flashlight, and the flashlight should be usable for a very long time. And the Warrior Mini 2 has two buttons to use the flashlight. This one right here, which is very typical of a flashlight and easy for using and walking around, and it has one in the back for a more tactical purpose. Now both these buttons have different modes, so to speak. The rear button, you can press it once very quickly and it'll stay on for a very long time. Or if you press and hold it, it will go off when you release your thumb from the flashlight. So those two different settings are really awesome to have as an option for you. So I actually used this flashlight when I went camping this past weekend, and I got to see how the flashlight performed. So this is the normal flashlight mode. I'm just in the campground trying it out at different distances to see how it actually throws. Now I'm going to switch to the tactical mode, and wow, it is a huge difference. The 1750 lumens provide up to 220 meters of throw, so you can pretty much see anything in your vicinity, which I was really impressed with. Okay, so now we are going to switch to the different modes here. This is what my one complaint is. The modes aren't super user friendly. I started getting the hang of it eventually, but basically you have to tap a different number of times to get to the different settings. There's a high, medium, low, and a moon setting. And the moon setting, you can hardly even notice that it's on, but as you can see here, it is on. And that provides 1 lumen, which is super nice. A lot of times I'll be walking around and I really don't want as much light as I'm getting. And even though figuring out these settings is a little bit of a hurdle, the amount of settings you get is absolutely amazing and super user friendly. It shows here on the box the number of lumens each setting gives you, as well as how much runtime you have and the amount of throw, or how far the actual light travels is there for you to see and is an option. And if you do click the button a couple of times, you can get to a high flash mode setting, which is another use case. One other super cool feature that is advertised on this flashlight is the proximity meter. The camera doesn't do a great job showing you, but the light on the flashlight actually dampens when it seems like within 6 to 12 inches of an object. This makes it really nice because obviously if it keeps the brightest setting, then it's going to really hurt your eyes. So now we're going to be talking about some of the things that I don't really like, and the first thing is the battery, which I'm about to show you. So when I'm using the flashlight in the 1750 lumens, the the light gets pretty hot, which is understandable because it's really throwing out a lot of light. And this battery honestly is super impressive because it's going to give you a really long lasting life of the flashlight. I really only had to recharge it once for the purpose of this video. So that is something to be aware of. Maybe the battery life might degrade over time if you do use it in these very high heat settings. But that's probably going to be typical of most of the flashlights that you'll be using with that much power outlet. The other kind of complaint is the charger. Although it is super nice, it's not universal, so if you lose the charger and don't have any other Olight products, then you are going to have to purchase one of those magnetic chargers. There's no micro USB or Type-C ports that you'd be able to use and find around your house. So my only other complaint, which I've already kind of talked about, is the different mode settings for the small button is not very user friendly, so it does take some practice to get to the different light modes from moon to high or medium. So that's just something I want to point out. So I typically have that product for a couple of months just so I can really get an idea for what I like and don't like and to see how the product degrades over time. However, for this flashlight, it's really not the case because it is just now going on sale. So this is more of a first impression. I did get to play around with it for a couple of weeks. Overall, I think it's a really great flashlight and there's not a lot of cons, and I really enjoyed using it. So that's it for the Warrior Mini 2 review. I'll leave a link down below on where you can purchase it on Olight's website. And thanks for watching. Take care.